I know from when we spoke that you went from having a couple of burnouts in your life and having those times when like things were just too much.
And suddenly I lost the control.
Never did I imagine that we would have a fazenda in Brazil and that we would be here having a conversation in such a country with raw potential.
I was really impressed of the decision you made, like to change the country, to go to a countryside in another country, to buy a farm and start over and to build a podcast project.
And it's when you're on the edge of that, and you're really in that space of creating what hasn't been seen before.
Here in Brazil, hair therapy is a huge thing. I'm not only a hair therapist, now I'm creating a whole concept about it, which is a bridge between the beauty and the health.
So how do you see that new world and then create it into reality, which is what's here today? And for those who are watching on video, what's happened with my hair right now.
Yes, very excited. Since the first time we met, you came to me to fix your hair because some other professional did something that you really don't like. So you came to me to fix it, right?
That's right.
And it's interesting because I get a lot of clients like this. I call myself a fixer. So we did the color to fix, so this color is fading now. So what I think now is we should go back to your natural color, which is very beautiful here in the roots, right?
Yes.
And so I would just do some very thin highlights and I will smoke this color grade here. And we're gonna cut and treat. And at the end, I will do an anamnese. I will check out the health of your scalp because it's about my project that we are just talking about, the future hair therapy. It's about taking care of the hair from inside out. So this project is to help other hairdressers to see hair with other approach and to create a bridge between doctors and hairdressers. So it's quite cool.
Yeah.
So how much are you gonna cut?
About this much.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about how did you met your husband?
Oh, I met my husband on Tinder.
On Tinder.
So I was
in Australia, right?
In Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was with my friends. It was New Year's Eve, and we were looking at who I wanted to manifest. And then,
and you manifested.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah. And then a couple of years later, we're in Brazil.
But it's the first time I'm recording it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because we had that idea to show a different part of Brazil.
Yes. I did a video recently cutting hair on the beach, and people think that Brazil and Rio are only about beach, samba, and caipirinha, but we have a lot of land here as well. And you are here to prove it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have some existing trees and we are planting some.
Yes.
So there are 5 mango trees, and in the summer there were so many mangoes. We had buckets and buckets and buckets of mangoes, and it wasn't even all of them, and the sheep started eating the mangoes as well.
I don't know how many, but I think it's more than 30 types of mango we have here. Wow.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
My hair's back.
Yes. Because you were not used to do my makeup.
Oh yeah, I've never done anything like that before.
Yes.
So Diego, I always appreciate when you go to the hair salon, to the hairdresser, that the person sitting in the chair having their hair done usually tells their story
Yes.
You know, and you hear so much. And today we have the opportunity to hear your story and hear more about you.
Yes.
So, you know, we spoke about the concepts of beauty that you have. And I'd love to know how you give yourself that freedom to come up with, you know, those different visionings of it.
Well, I would say this is natural because since I work with this for 25 years already, I started very young age. I was 14. So beauty for me, it was a discovery, still is, I used to say. So through this journey, I started to see what I like the most, what I like to do actually, because, you know, I'm a hairdresser and also makeup artist. So between these two, I went deeper. So for example, for hairdressing, I am a colorist, a visagist. So I cut, I do color, design, and I'm also now a hair therapist because I'm really keen to take care of people's hair health. You know, it's a really good thing to do because, you know, in the times that we live, people are very stressed and are losing hair for some diseases and etc. So for me to see somebody suffering for the hair, it's bad. And it's the first time that the client goes to the salon and she complains about something is with the hairdresser. So I believe it's us that needs to be to have the expertise to help her to take care of the hair. So that's why I'm doing this now. With the makeup, I already did like cinema, fashion shows, weddings, brides, and etc. And I really love to create natural beauty, you know, because makeup, there are some that you can do like extreme makeover, but I really like when I can use the pencils to improve your beauty, you know, to show the best parts of you. So for me, it's very natural to do this because it's an adventure.
And you have such a way of seeing your skills and bringing them out in different expressions. So how did you get to that place where you saw that you had that vision? And I've never heard of hair therapy before. And so for me, you came up with that idea. So how do you see that new world and then create it into reality, which is what's here today? And, you know, for those who are watching on video, what's happened with my hair right now?
So here in Brazil, hair therapy is a huge thing, you know. Because this now it's trending. This trend comes from Asia because in Asia people are really aware of the skincare. So now here they are really aware of the scalp care. So after the pandemics, I saw so many people suffering of their hair loss or any other stuff. And then I decided to go deeper in this. I was a hair therapist before that because I started to take care of the hair. But when that happened, that I watched so many people suffering after this because COVID really affected the hair health from the people and in a very deep way. So I started to ask myself, what could I do for this? So I'm not only a hair therapist, now I'm creating a whole concept about it. Which is a bridge between the beauty and the health. I'm not a doctor and I don't want to be acting like it, you know, but I think every professional needs to try to go up the limits, you know, to try to do better. And for me, this is a way for do better, to have the knowledge about the health and try to help people to take care of their own hair. So that's my work now. I am building this project called Terapia Capilar do Futuro in Portuguese.
Sure.
Which is a future hair therapy, which is a connection between the hair health and the health from inside out.
Yeah, right. And I love what you said there about reaching new limits, so that, you know, we think that we have a limit and a threshold, and then we can go beyond that. Yeah. So, you know, for an example, we're on the fazenda here, and one of the things I was doing was cleaning the windows, and the I thought with the ladder that I couldn't go higher and I couldn't get those other windows, but I looked at it and my husband showed me a couple of things, and I was like, yeah, actually I can do that. So it's interesting that you say that, taking things to new limits and new places, and really that's where we are today on the fazenda in this new season of the podcast.
In this podcast, right?
Yeah.
I was just wondering about this because, doing a podcast, a video cast actually, and a fazenda, something like this, and talking about beauty and career and lifestyle and self-improvement. I think this all of these things connect with each other. So I really believe that we are here for a reason, and that's for it.
The other thing that I was really curious about is that I know from when we spoke that you went from having a couple of burnouts in your life and having those times when like things were just too much. Yeah. And so the piece that I always find with those difficult challenges in life, and they happen to people, is
that's life.
What was the shift? How did you go from that place of being, overworked, overcommitted, all of those things, all of that, and what was the shift that took you out of that place into where you are now?
Well, this is also for me something natural because I grew up like having to improve myself and fighting some battles because I grew up in a very humble family. So working with beauty for me, it was opportunity to grow, both like professionally and financially, to help my family and etc. So when some things like this happens, it's a time for me to stop and reflect and think about what I'm doing to my life, because sometimes you just go with the flow. Mm-hmm. And go with the flow is something that could be good, right? But sometimes when you go with the flow of the system, of the world, of what the world expects from you, it can be tricky, right? So I think time to time you need to stop and think about it and make a reflection of what are the decisions that you are making. So I just had that like for the second time in life, a burnout last year. And I didn't thought I was going through this again, because the first time it was 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. I was like young, working a lot, living in Amsterdam and traveling the world. I was like wanting to do everything at the same time. But this time was different. This time I was like focused, and I was like building my family, which makes me so happy, with my little one, with my wife, and etc. And for me, everything was in control. And suddenly I lost the control, So I had to stop, give a step back and think again of how to do this. So I'm doing this now. And for me now, it's really clear what happened and what should I do now. So I think life is like this. We really need to be looking to inside to see what is coming from inside,
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is.
And with the piece of reflection, right, is that for me, I have that there's always a bigger picture. There's always a bigger picture unfolding. Never did I imagine that we would have a fazenda in Brazil and that we would be here having a conversation in like such a country with raw potential.
Yes.
And, it's really in looking at what you mentioned about decisions, I always have learned to make the highest vibration choice that I can in that moment and reflect and pause to bring forward with what life is showing. And it's incredible to hear that you had those experiences and then you've taken it to a place where with what you're building, what you're creating, how you're contributing.
Yes, when you invited me to come here, I was very honored because, we talked a lot in the first time we met. And I think there was a connection because I was really impressed of the decision you made, like to change the country, to go to a countryside in another country, to buy a farm and start over, and to build a podcast project. And for me, that is it. That's something that people should do, like to try themselves, and maybe to try to go in a different direction.
And,
you know,
no one tells you what to do.
Yes.
Like when you come up with these things, is that often people are looking for someone to tell them what to do, to tell them what they should do. And it's when you're on the edge of that, and you're really in that space of creating what hasn't been seen before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I feel we have that in common, right?
Yes, exactly. And the name of the podcast shouldn't be better, right? The frequency freedom, because we need to have the freedom to work on the frequency that we want, and to look around and see what frequency is best for us. So I think it is. Now you are on the farm. I'm in Leblon and Rio de Janeiro, building my life and trying new projects and building a new concept of hair therapy. And I think we have the freedom for that.
Yeah.
So when you really go for this frequency, I think the success is just right. It's just right the corner.
What happens in that space, at least in my experience, is that life presents things to you.
Yeah.
And it's up to us to look at like what's being presented and to attune to that, and to really see, okay, we'll pivot or adapt based on that. And looking at the life that you're leading, so having that multi-talented space where you have many things going on.
Yes.
We haven't spoken about, you're also a creative director.
Yes.
And Diego, and there's also the story that of how your name came about, auckY, how that was created.
Yes.
And so life is such a powerful creation.
Yes.
That happens in the moment with the presence in it.
Yes, I was always like a creative little kid, and then I grew up like this. So creativity, it was always on my life. I used the creativity for hair, for the makeup, and I ended up seeing that this is ability that I could use to help others as well. So I was working as a creative director at the hair salon that we just met, the I Am Salon.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm focused on the other projects, but I'm also help other people to do the personal branding. No? Like what you're doing here is really amazing. We talked about it, and I see a lot of potential on this, and how you should build this for your own happiness and for your own personal growth. And we just talked about it and how I could help you on this. We're still gonna talk about it. And for me, this is the marvelous of the life, that this exchange that we have. That now I'm not traveling too much as I wish I could, because when I was younger, I traveled a lot around the world. I was meeting people, and for me, this is such a good thing to do. And now I'm just receiving people, but it's already good, because I got to know people like you from the other side of the world that is coming here to live the life. And I want to enjoy this opportunity that we are doing this for the first time to change here and ask you.
Oh, sure.
How did you end up here?
Oh.
How this all happened? Because you just told, okay, I'm here on the farm with this. So how this happened? How
the farm happened? Gosh, I started traveling with my husband.
Yes.
We were in Australia, and we traveled through Asia. We traveled through Europe. I had a friend, John, who said he was in Rio, and Rio was a really close flight we could fly direct from Madrid to Rio.
Yes.
Came to Rio, and Brazil was something else. I mean, I've been to over 20 countries, and the potential I mentioned before, the potential that's here, and the abundance, like the lifestyle is something else that I've not experienced anywhere.
We were just talking when I was doing your hair
Yeah.
This is something that I think all of the world is seeing now, because everybody's looking to Brazil now. Brazil is trending commercially, culturally because of that. And I think because we actually have that potential, and it took us time for the other ones to see it before ourselves to see the potential that Brazil here. But I might say that myself, I always see a lot of potential in Brazil. And sometimes I'm sad that some stuff doesn't happen. But now I'm happy, because with this perspective, maybe we'll make the Brazilians rethink what of the abundance that we have here. So it's a really good thing. I think it's a really good thing that is happening now, that the world is looking to Brazil. A lot of people are moving here I think for the last month, I received like 4 people that are moving here. Actually more than this, because 2 were couples. They are moving and buying properties here to build a life here, or to have kids or not. So they are really looking to Brazil for it. And I think Brazilians are like with the arms open for
Absolutely. Absolutely. That has been my experience. Is that here locally, there are people that have introduced me to the organic growers. There's a lady, and this is really, really special, is that for people who are watching on video, is that you can see the hill behind us. There is an idea to regenerate that. And so without me even saying to this lady that I wanted to regenerate, she starts talking about it.
Wow.
And she brings seeds. So she will bring seeds to whenever we meet. She brings, a container of seeds and 10 or something seedlings.
Were those like seeds from the trees that are from here?
They're native to the area. Mata Atlantica.
Mata Atlantica, yes.
Yeah.
This is a really good thing.
Yeah.
It's really good. That's the frequency, right? I think this is all happening. I think we are living in a moment that this frequency is going to get people together. Because the ones that are not on this frequency, they're going to be left, but it's okay. But I think this frequency is going to like reunite people for doing good stuff. I really believe that.
When you are on that frequency, the right people come to you at the right time, at the right place.
Yes.
And more and more if that happens. I here to share a bit more about the life here. So we were going to a lecheria, which is a maybe that's a Spanish word. I don't think that's how you say it in Portuguese.
What is the name?
A dairy farm.
Dairy farm, yeah. I don't know the translation for that in Portuguese.
Oh good. Yeah, and we were going there, and the guy didn't show, and so we decided not to do that anymore. And then we went to another place nearby here to pick up milk because we don't have a cow. We thought about getting one, but we drove past a guy on a horse, and he said, "Oh, go down here." And then 2 days later, that guy comes with his friend to our house, unplanned, not knowing that we were the people.
We don't notice.
Yes, that happens. You just hear the beep of the horn. And he has a dairy farm. And so, he turned up with a whole container, which was 10 liters of milk, whole milk. And now what we're doing is when I say the night before, can we please have some milk? I make something for him. So I have given him ice cream. I've given him banana bread, and it's in exchange. And the same thing happens with that that lady. I'm not sure how you say it, Aida, maybe. I need to find out proper pronunciation for that.
It's okay.
And we also have that system of economy that is the barter and exchange.
Yes.
And it's so much more fulfilling. Have you experienced that?
Can I tell you something? I don't want to talk about religion, but I want to talk about spirituality, because behind this person, there's a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
A spiritual person. And I have my own beliefs. I really believe religion today are doing some stuff that might not help people, but are others that are like seeking for spirituality. And why I'm talking to you about this, because for my beliefs, the beliefs of Diego, I believe we are here for this exchange, you know. The systems that we see outside, the capitalism and all the stuff, the big cities and etc. For my point of view, doesn't make people happy. You know, I see a lot of people having burnouts and etc. and working so hard to get what they want. And sometimes in the end of the life, they see that they were pursuing something that was not valuable. So for me, this is the meaning of life, because, you know, Earth is so full of a lot of things good, you know, everything that we need here, the fruits, the foods, this planet, it's everything that we need. So I think, and I really believe that we are here for this exchange, to use all of the sources that we can access and then produce something and exchange to the other.
Yeah.
You know? I think that is the power of give and receiving.
Diego, it's been such a pleasure to have you on the Fazenda, to experience the magic of your hair transformations.
The pleasure is mine.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. So let's go.
Yeah. Here we are building the Fazenda out piece by piece, working with what we have. And over here, in this area, is the hill
Great.
that we have the idea to reforest, and the lady Idia is giving us seedlings for. And you know, imagine this, just forest.
Yes.
And
it's gonna be fresh here. Really amazing. It's just peaceful here, right? And you told me that the sky is full of stars at night, so I'm looking forward to see this too.
I know you would have received value from this episode. I would love for you to share it. Maybe you feel to make something and exchange that with someone in your community like we have done today. Thank you so much, and until next time.